Welcome back. In this video, it's time for you to put in a little bit of work with me. It's time for you to do some practice on these word choice questions. So let's get straight to it. Let's dive straight in. In the last video, I've put up a short video on how to download the worksheet that I'll be using in this video. So if you haven't checked out that video, if you haven't downloaded the worksheet, just go back to that video, have a quick look at it, and then come straight back here. So far, we've looked at the denotation and connotation. Denotation being the simple definition, connotation being what's hidden, what's suggested, what's concealed, and I introduced this second method of thinking about each word looking at it through two windows. Firstly, looking at it through the simple meaning or the basic definition, and then through the second window that's a bit more interesting. What does the word whisper to you? What suggestions is the word making about the subject? So, by now you should have the worksheet. What I would strongly suggest to you is that you pause the video, in fact stop the video now, and give the worksheet a go. If, however, you're not feeling very confident, you could maybe watch the first example, then pause the video and give the questions a go. There are 10 questions on the worksheet. This video is going to give the answers to the first 5 questions only. Okay, so there'll be 5 left after that. It really won't benefit you that much at all if you just watch the video. Okay, it's quite a passive way to engage with it. Much better for you to give it a go, get it completely wrong. It doesn't matter. In fact, it'll help if you get it completely right. You don't need to be watching this video. If you make mistakes, then you'll see them. So you could do it one at a time, or you could try all 5 of them. But don't just watch the video straight through. It won't help you that much. Okay, moving straight on to question number 1. What does the word gulped suggest about the way someone drinks? Well, we look through our 2 windows. So the first window is our simple definition. We need to know what the word gulped means. So in this case, it means to drink eagerly in large draughts. We've looked at this word before. What does it suggest about the way people are drinking, or that somebody is drinking? That they're not taking a lot of care, that they're drinking fast-paced, rushed, and there's a good chance they're going to spill or maybe cough or choke, something along those lines. So how do we turn that into an answer? It looks something like this. The word gulped, so I quote the word, suggests that the person was drinking quickly, swallowing big mouthfuls, and they were at risk of spilling the drink too. So note that I'm giving more than one answer. I didn't just say the word gulp suggests they're drinking quickly. I tried to give lots of answers because I only need one of them to be correct to get the marks. Question 2. What does the word trudged suggest about the way a teacher walked to his desk, for example? Now, we need to know the meaning of the word trudged. Have a think. You've probably heard expressions of trudging through the snow, or similar. So do you know what the word trudged means if that came up in an assessment? Well, simple meaning is it's to walk slowly with a lot of effort and heavy steps. So what does that suggest about a teacher? If they're walking slowly from the door of their classroom over to their desk, well, to me it suggests a number of things. It could be that they're tired. It could be that they're exhausted. They might be sad, or worse, depressed. It could be the end of a day, or the end of a week, or the end of a term. It could be coming up towards the Christmas holidays or summer holidays. So there's lots of suggestions. Instead of saying the teacher walked, saying the teacher trudged, and to write that answer down, you use the same format. So the word trudged suggests that the teacher is exhausted and perhaps depressed. It also suggests that he has had a long and difficult day. Note that I'm using the word suggests twice here. I'm trying to list as many possibilities as I can to give myself the best chance of getting full marks. Now, feel free to pause the video now if you want to try question 3, question 4, question 5 before moving on. Or if you want to take down this as a sample answer, always pause the video if you need to. You can always come straight back to it. Okay, let's move on to question 3 now. Question 3 is, what does the word marched suggest about the way a teacher walked to his desk? Now, in this case, very different to trudged. Do we know what march means? Well, we can think of soldiers marching, armies marching, but what is it in the manner of when someone walks when they march? Well, it's about those kind of long steps, straight legs, and the simple meaning of marching is to walk quickly in a determined way. So in this case, it's suggesting that the teacher is determined. So what's happening? Well, I would say as a teacher myself, if I was marching to my desk, I'm probably feeling a strong emotion. I don't tend to march around the place. I tend to walk quite casually. So if I'm marching, could suggest speed. Okay, I want to get to my desk quickly, right, with purpose. Perhaps I'm angry. Perhaps something's happened in the classroom that I'm not happy about. Or perhaps I've left something behind before going to an important meeting. Perhaps some student is in trouble. Perhaps somebody's getting a demerit or a punishment exercise. There's lots of suggestions behind that word march. And in the next slide, I'll show you how we answer it. Okay, so the word marched, see how I'm quoting the word, suggests that the teacher is moving quickly and purposefully. It also suggests that he is angry and perhaps about to deal with a misbehaving student. So in this case, I'm giving multiple suggestions, multiple implications of that word marched. I'm not just saying the word march suggests the teacher is moving quickly. I'm giving as many examples as I can think of in a short period of time to maximize my chance of getting full marks. Question 4. What does the word hobbled suggest about the way a teacher walked to his desk? Okay, hobbled is very different to trudged and very different to marched. What does hobbled mean? Again, feel free to pause if you want to have a think about it, look it up. Okay, so the simple meaning for hobbling is to walk in an awkward way, usually because the feet or the legs are injured. Now, this is quite different. It means that the teacher is marching in a slow and awkward fashion, that they're in pain. Maybe they're going to have difficulty continuing the lesson. Now, this could happen, for example, if I was teaching and I tripped over a student bag. Very embarrassing for me, but can also be quite painful if you fall the wrong way. In terms of our answer, the word hobbled doesn't tell us that exactly, but it suggests these things. It implies some of these things. And the answer looks like this. The word hobbled suggests that the teacher is moving slowly and awkwardly. It also suggests that he is in pain and is struggling to finish the lesson. So I've got written about 4 different points down there. Question 5. What does the word tumbled suggest about the way a boy fell out of a tree? Now, we're moving totally away from the teacher now. This is a different example. So, we don't have much context. A boy up a tree, he's tumbling, he's falling out of a tree, and we focus on the word tumble. So what does it mean to tumble? It means to fall quickly and without control. That's key here. Now, he didn't just fall, because there's an element if you fall that you might be able to, kind of put your hands out or try and land on your feet, but tumbling gives that sensation of being head over heels. It suggests kind of surprise and shock. He wasn't expecting to fall. An uncontrolled landing. If you tumble out of a tree, you could land on your back, on your head, on your shoulder. You could technically land on your feet, but there's a good chance then that you might have injured himself. Sorry, that the boy falling out of the tree might have injured himself. He could be hitting off the branches on the way down or landed badly on the ground. So a lot of suggestions in that word tumbling instead of the word fall. And the answer would look a little bit like this. What does the word tumbled suggests that the boy's fall was a shock and that he couldn't control his descent through the tree. It also suggests that he might have hurt himself hitting off branches and the ground. So again, I'm using that word suggests as often as I can because it leads me down the right direction when I'm writing down the answer. It helps me to format it correctly. And also I'm giving as many examples as I can, not just one. So, points to note, what did I do in those 5 answers? I used the word suggest in every single answer. And in my classes, I get my students for a word choice question, they have to have that word in the answer. They have to use the word suggests because it helps them to speak in terms of that second window, the whispering window, the suggesting window. I gave more than one answer. I made as many points as I could for the simple reason that if I give one answer and it's wrong, I ain't going to get the marks. But if I give 4 answers, 3 of them are wrong and 1 of them are right, I won't get penalised for those 3 wrong answers, but I'll get full marks for that correct answer. In these examples, the one we've looked at in this video, you've been provided with the words, so gulped, trudged, marched, hobbled and tumbled, but remember that in the assessment in the National 5 exam, you won't be given the words. You'll be given a paragraph to look at, and we'll look at that in more detail in future videos. And you're doing really well, guys. You're doing great. If you're getting this far, I don't expect you to fully understand word choice at this stage, but you're going to get closer and closer with each video. So what I expect you to do now, and what you should do, is go and try the next 5 questions on your own while these ideas are still in your head. Make sure that you use the word suggests. Approach it with the 2 windows. Do you know what the word means? And secondly, what does it suggest to you? What's it whispering to you? And write down as many examples as you can. Bullet points are fine. The more you write down, the more chance you have of hitting the jackpot and getting the correct answer, and therefore getting full marks. Please give it a go. Please don't just rush on to the next video. You'll get much more benefit, even if you just try one of them. Okay? Do all 5, but 1 or 2 or 3 is better than none. And I'll see you in the next video.